Hi. I got to keep coming as fast as I could. There's 12 minutes left, and I got to clean the house up to get ready. See, I got to put everything in place in my house, throw everything in the garbage that I don't need, and everything that I do need, put it in the place where it's supposed to be so that everything is perfect. So when something comes, I don't see something that's in my way to stop me from doing the things I want to do, so I don't have to stop. Therefore, there is not an arête. An arête doesn't pick, like the spade. An arête is like a bone. Okay, just let me tell you what happens, okay? You see, the cats are all born. It's not their fault they're born with a tail. Man is born too. He has no tail. All he has to do is read the rules and he'll learn everything else. Then he'll get a story out of it. So it took 9 tries, or maybe 9 men went to the plate. Okay, they each had a shot of a result of 6. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The next one counts. 9 times 6 is 54. It's all the cards with the joker. Okay, the 9 lives of the cat. I mean, the 9 lives that went, the 9 men that went to the plate who tried to find home, because you cannot get home without the story of how to get home. So the man couldn't do it until the 9th tried. Then he got home on the 9th try. So he did 9 sixes. 9 times 6 is 54. Now, if you want to figure out why the 666 was there before and it wasn't there now, and what is it supposed to be now? Well, God said it was 7. So this is how it works. 4 times 6 is 24. 3 times 6 is 18. 1 quarter is missing. Thus, we make it up every 4 years with a leap year. Isn't that the way it works? Now, we were talking about 9 lives of the cats. Well, if you take a look, when you have 9, because you start at 0 and 10 is starting over again, 10 is perfect, the middle of the 9 of the choice, because you don't want 0 and everybody wants 10, so you have to take the middle, and you have to go from the numbers, which is 1 to 9, and the middle is 5. So the middle of 5 is 9. The pound key, the middle of the pound key, the 5 fits in the center. Now the 9 lives of 6, as you know what happened after each time they couldn't make it? They put him 6 feet in the dugout, under. He was under because the 6 was over. His 6 was over. There was no more of his 6 that made up the story of the tries. He ended up back in the dugout instead of getting onto base and have a chance of running in life. But he struck out. He did not walk. He did not use the 4 properly. He did not use the 5 properly. And he didn't use the 6 properly. Because on the first 2 tries, if he got 2 strikes between him and his friend, if he struck out, his friend would no longer be his friend. He'd be alone. He'd be struck out. He'd be in the dugout. So let's dig it out. And thus, the worst scenario for him would have been 6, which obligated him to have a result. So therefore, they put him 6 feet under because he dug for it. So he went back to the dugout. And then when he died, they dug him up and put him 6 feet down. So they dug him out of one place. They put him in another. It was like a transfer, like transferring funds, like transferring knowledge. But you can't transfer knowledge through a bank account, because the mind doesn't have a number. It's invaluable, which means the mind has no value. Just like it's inflammable, like it doesn't burn. When in all actuality, it does burn. And the mind has a lot of value to the people who need the mind. And the mind blows everybody out. And the mind blows everybody up. And the mind gives everybody what they want. And the mind gives everybody what they don't want. So you see, if you know the 2 sides of everything, then you will know the 2 sides. It's black and white. You know, you know, you don't know, you don't know. Is there any more? Is there any difference between the knowing and the not knowing? When you know it. When you don't know it. Thus you don't know what you don't know, and you know what you know. And it's that simple. Just because I say it that way, and it comes out that way, because it's more simpler to repeat it as it actually is. But because every time we read it the way it actually is, we always seem to repeat to come back for conformation. But the conformation was the con all man made, and the formation was that of all those who went to war. So they conned all man to go to war to fight over something that was already in the brain. The golden age. And everybody wants gold, but the gold is in the mind. So everybody came to earth. They thought. They thought the value was money, but the money was the e-value, is a false value, when all the value is in the mind. Because when you got your mind, you got everything. When you got no mind, you can't do shit. And shit stinks. And no one wants to be with the shit. Because the S of the shit is the snake. The H is the heaven. The I is the I who controls the whole thing. And the T is the crossroads that you had to take to get down here. That's what shit is all about. It's not so bad. It stinks. It's man turned it crooked. And that's why it looked like the S in the dollar sign. Once it was crooked, they threw an arrow through it. Therefore, you are striked and obligated to learn what the real value was here on earth. And it was the mighty old dollar, so they struck it twice, making two sides. So there was always war, because they were always equal. Once they put the two lines through the S and the dollar sign, it looked like two ones. Two ones are equal. In war you fight where you're equal, because there always has to be a winner. 3 balls, 2 strike. The next choice is yours. Whichever move you make, wherever you end up, it all has the same story, because the story is, on earth, the last choice is yours. So if you strike out, or you get a hit, and you get the first base, and you're nice to her, maybe you'll take her to second base, and you'll be able to have the third part of the party of man. So when you go up to heaven, you will have the totality of all the stories, and that's what it is all, because all is everything, and everything is what it's all about. And it all starts off with being honest. So if you're honest and true, then you'll know everything else, and you'll be able to start over. What rhymes with it is new. Because we're all old until we know. And when you get old, you know. And if you don't know, it's something you did when you're young that stopped you from knowing. Because we're supposed to know when we get old. Otherwise, we wouldn't get old. If man wasn't gray, he wouldn't see the gray areas. Do you understand what I'm saying? If man's hair didn't get white, he'd have to see the better as the worst. Because his hair is white. Nothing's white. Nothing is pure. Because if we see pure, we know something's wrong somewhere else. Right? Ciao. Closer to midnight, 11:54. You know when they start counting down, they go 5, 4, 3, 2, whoop, 11:55. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I mean, zero's where the departure is. Now we're counting down to the departure. We're counting down to go up. So every time we go up, we go down, and every time we go down, we go back up. So the female and the male come together as one, so we know the information can come down as well as it can go up. There's a chance for everything. So don't look at the blink side, because not everything is looking down, because if you look at it right and you know the truth, it's all looking up. Because the point of the matter, when birth comes from any kind of seed in the beautiful, perfect month of May, where all flowers bloom and they all rise and we see the true colors, that's when the true colors of man come. Thus, there is little time to the end when September comes around, on the 21st, to the 21st of October, to the 21st of November, to the 21st of December, makes 3 months. Autumn! Autumn! Does it sound like the Indian? Autumn! As the drums beat, as the skies, they fall. Autumn! Time is coming to a final end. The last 3 months, before it turns to the vinter, the wine on the earth is tearing apart. It now stinks like a skunk. Winter, ver, cold. The I, the H of the heaven, is going towards something else now, and what they're going towards is the galactica change of the purification of the angel of everything he learned from his man in the E game, the extension of his fingers. So in all actuality, God is going to call everybody in and ask all the angels, what did you do with your hands today? Did you do anything good with your mouth? What were you looking at? Were you looking at the right thing or the wrong thing? As we know, the 3 6s in French is one thing, as in English it is S-I-X, 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 and it's all okay, because it's 6. But in French, and you spell it and say it, S-E-X, 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 and that's the man's ego, because it's not sex. The E, the I is not an E. Don't be French about the whole situation. God is God, man is man, and man is just a game, and he can never really be God. He can't be God. And the 3 X's are the 3 strikes, you're out. And the 4 balls, you walk. And the perfect man is 4. And thus everything worked out with everything I've said since yesterday. And there's only 3 minutes left of transmission. Transmission comes. I'm going to turn on Shom, because tonight, listen to Shom. Everything I said, if the word is really out, astral, ass, from the ass to tell all, from the ass of one is not as smelly and bad as from the other, astral, from the universe. So this is the only time the ass smells good. Shom FM, according to the way I think, because I read all the words and letters, And I'm hoping maybe you'll think too. So since you'll see the love in the song, just take the song for the love and don't read any deeper. I'll do the rest for you. I'll help you. I am the helper. I am the Jack, the valet, the bunny rabbit, the Jack of all trades. I am Jack Lapin, the one with the hook at the bottom that if you're caught in the lake, he'll hook you out. But if you're on the crossroads and you can't get over the bridge, if you turn him over, he's got a straight line and you can get over the bridge. So therefore, he's got a bridge for you. So he's got something for everybody. Jack Lapin. If you take Jack Lapin, you make him pure, you bring him back up to the top, and you make two Jack Lapins all the same, it turns into a heart. Just like 88. If you turn the 88 sideways to turn it into eternity, and you put it on top of each other, it's another heart. You see, everything was made to be heart to heart. And they made a show about it. But the show is about criminals and detectives. And life is about criminals and detectives. We got to detect the criminals to stay away from them. To keep ourselves safe and honest. Because when you're honest and you're safe, you speak the truth. But when you do the wrong thing, and you think it's the wrong thing, you think something's going to bother in somebody else, you got to hide it and lie to them. All of a sudden it's a lie on you and you got to live with it. And lies are hard to live with. It's the hardest thing in the world. Because the only shit you have to have in your head is your own truth. And if you live with lies, you're living with a lot of shit. You don't need that shit. That shit stinks. And that's the stuff you don't want. That's the stuff that's not allowed in heaven. That's why heaven is so sweet. And that's why I'm going to have some honey. Because the bees make the honey, and they replenish everything. And without the bee, nothing repeats. And I like everything that repeats, because I want to come back again. Ciao. Close to midnight. Oh my God, it's 11:59. I got to get off. Ciao.